Hey, this is Sam. Welcome to BNS About Movies. This week, I Don't Want to Be Born from 1975.
Scream, run, hide. It is the time of absolute terror.
You will have a baby, a monster, an evil monster conceived in your womb, as big as I am small and possessed by the devil himself.
The devil within her.
She believes her child is possessed.
Yours is the profession that practices exorcism.
Not since Rosemary's Baby, conceived by the devil.
I'm your mother. You can't hurt me. I know why you hate me. You didn't want to be born.
The devil within her. Rated R.
Also known as The Devil Within Her, The Monster, and Sharon's Baby, a great title. This mid-70s film plays it so straight, it can't be anything but a parody of The Exorcist. And here it is, screaming in your face, full of bad accents, and horribly disgusting sex scenes that probably don't ever make you want to have sex again. It's so earnest that you might want to believe that you can't help but hold it tight and tell it everything's going to be okay. Also known as Poseidon El Nasser in foreign countries. It's directed by Peter Sadsky, who brought us Taste the Blood of Dracula, The Ingrid Pitt starring Countess Dracula, Hands of the Ripper, Welcome to Blood City, and of course The Lonely Lady. This is perhaps the only movie you'll ever watch where Joan Collins, poor Joan, and a little person engaged in occult warfare. Joan is Lucy, a dancer, not the kind that does modern or ballet. Her stage act includes a routine with Hercules, played by George Clayton from Berserk, a dwarf strongman. She invites him home for a drink one evening, but he declines, instead feeling like giving her a rub down in the dressing room. Our heroine feels uncomfortable as he just goes for her breast, making her scream. Bring in Tommy, John Steiner from Shock, and of course the Overlord from Your Hunter from the Future. Her stage manager, who kicks his ass out and then makes sweet, sweet love to Lucy. As she leaves the club that night, Hercules curses her, saying, "You will have a baby, a monster, an evil monster conceived inside your womb, as big as I am small, and possessed by the devil himself." Oh yeah, if you didn't say, "Holy shit, I'm all in," when you heard me say that, you have no soul. You have no idea what makes a movie like this worth watching. Months pass, and Lucy's gone straight, giving up the exotic dancing lifestyle, settling down with wealthy Gino, Ralph Bates from the horror Frankenstein and Lust for a Vampire, who set her up in a fancy townhouse. She's a kept woman. But she has a long, arduous, and painful delivery of a baby who weighs in at 0.86 stone. That's 12 pounds for us in America. Said baby is also fond of ripping her with his nails, but Dr. Finch tells her that everything's going to be okay. Dr. Finch is Donald Pleasence, of course. If you're like, hey, this is a British horror movie from the 70s, I wonder if Donald Pleasence will show up. All you have to do is think that in your head, and poof, he appears. Tell that to housekeeper Mrs. Hyde, Hilary Mason from Don't Look Now and Dolls. When the baby almost bites off a finger. Baby doesn't get along with anyone. In fact, Lucy relates to her gal pal Mandy, Carolyn Monroe, another reason to watch this movie, Gina's sister Albana, Eileen Atkins, a British stage star who definitely deserves way better than this, who is a nun, despite a series of tests, both religious and medical. The baby will not be stopped, ever even smashing and drowning his nurse, Janet Keep from The Vampire Lovers. Lucy tries to talk to Tommy, saying, you know, it could be her son. The baby reacts by punching the gangster in the nose, which makes Lucy happy until her son gets the face of Hercules. Her real husband tries to take her mind off everything with a night of, as they said in the 70s, sweet whoopee. After the most unusual sex scene ever filmed, the baby lures her husband outside where he's lynched.
Boiler alert! Boiler alert!
And stuffed down a storm drain. Oh, Gino. It gets worse. The infant also beheads Donald Pleasence, stabs Lucy in the heart. Don't let kids play with scissors. We learn nothing.
Boiler alert! Boiler alert!
Albana finally realizes what she must do, and that is rip off the ending of The Exorcist. As she goes through with the special rite, Hercules is dancing on stage, but the moment she touches the baby's head with the crucifix, he dies in front of a crowded audience. This is a real crowd pleaser, and by crowd I mean me. Seriously, it may be talky and boring in parts, but you have to admire its drive to do anything and everything to shock and surprise you. Keeps trying out attractive British women, not only to off them in ludicrous ways. Oh, well, Joan Collins keeps screaming her head off, talking about this movie only makes me want to watch it again. We're going to follow that with another possession movie, The Entity, a movie that my wife and I looked for on DVD everywhere when we first started dating. We learned one of the mysteries of collecting physical media. Once you find something and buy it, you will suddenly find it everywhere because you don't need it anymore.
Hey, wake up! Wake up, everybody! It's a gorgeous day! Come here.
20th Century Fox presents the story of Carla Moran,
Now look.
the most extraordinary case in the history of psychic research.
Everything broke loose. It went crazy, and everything was shaking. The bed was shaking, and the walls were shaking, and...
Like an earthquake.
No, it wasn't like an earthquake. It was much stronger than any earthquake.
Oh, wait a minute. Honey, I don't really understand this. You were attacked? Or you weren't? It happened. I was raped.
You were raped by whom?
I don't know. There was no one there.
A team of experts will investigate her life.
Why does he attack you, Carla? Not anyone else.
Why is she going to such lengths to support this delusion?
And they will find more than evidence. They will find the entity.
The Entity was directed by Sidney J. Furie, who brought us, well, Iron Eagle and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. It was written by Frank De Felitta, who wrote Audrey Rose and The Edict, which was filmed at ZPG. He also directed Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. And it's based on the true story of Doris Bither, the alleged ghosts of 3 Asian men had raped her. Carla Moran, Barbara Hershey, who would later be in another possession movie, Insidious, is a single mom, continually attacked by a poltergeist who assaults her and then tries to kill her at every turn. Including taking control of her car in traffic, she tries to work with Dr. Sneederman to solve her issues. And Dr. Sneederman is a good guy in this movie, but he's played by one of the best heels in the history of movies, Ron Silver. Jerk in every movie except this one. He's the one nice guy in this movie. There's one scene where he's sitting in a room with all these male doctors, and every single one of them is like smoking a pack of cigarettes at a time. Like that old Guinness Book of World Records picture of the guy with his mouth real wide with like 1 million cigarettes in his mouth. They're trying to mansplain away the ghost rape and insult the patient in every way. Girls, Carla's endured sexual and physical abuse, teenage pregnancy, and the motorcycle riding death of her first husband. But how can you explain away the fact that she's been attacked in front of her kids and scientific witnesses? The ghost zapped her son with electrical energy in one scene, and their boyfriend has seen the attacks, and her boyfriend is Alex Rocco. That's when the movie descends into madness. Parapsychologists create a model version of her home as a trap with liquid helium to freeze the ghost. This, I can tell you now, this isn't going to work. Tries to turn the experiment on her, but the doctor saves her. There's a brief moment where we can see the entity trapped in ice, trapped under ice like Metallica, trapped in ice before it vanishes. The next day she comes home, only to have the front door open by itself and a demonic voice say, unlike every character in any horror movie before since, she calmly opens the door, walks on inside, and drives away with her kid. There's a disclaimer at the end that says the film you have seen is a fictionalized account of a true incident which took place in Los Angeles, California in October 1976. It is considered by psychic researchers to be one of the most extraordinary cases in the history of parapsychology.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters.
We examine these mysteries to determine, are they or not?
The real Carla Moran is today living in Texas with her children. The attacks, though decreased in both frequency and intensity, continue. Interestingly enough, Sidney J. Furie dropped an entire dream sequence and plot thread from The Entity, which featured Carla being forced by the ghost to have incestuous thoughts about her own son. Billy, that son, is played by David Lebiosa. He said those aspects are too controversial and sex charged for the early 80s. I guess you've never seen Amityville 2: The Possession, have you?
We're going to play a game where you are the beautiful model and I am the famous photographer. Pose for me.
The Entity is a scary, rough, and only in the 80s horror movie. The actual attacks are brutal in their intensity. The sound design is that each scene sounds like staccato bursts of industrial noise. It's well worth hunting down. But once you find it, you're going to find it everywhere. It also has an effect that I've never been able to figure out, where you see ghost hands manipulating breasts. It's rough. Anyway, this is Sam from BNS About Movies. Thanks for listening to the show. You have a possession movie you'd like me to watch? I will watch it. Let me know. BNSAboutMovies@gmail.com.